Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Monday evening, we've survived the start of the week. I got a parcel today from abroad and everything, which I'm not showing you just now because if I put the video up then Kathleen will see it and there's a wee parcel for Kathleen in there as well. So we're keeping that till later. This evening we are talking, what are we calling it? Not quite sure. Rudeness, ridiculousness, overreaching expectations, stuff like that. So there we were sitting at work today going da 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 da, and somebody had asked something about work and stuff and things, and when we had answered them with what we could do, like, well, that's not good enough. Oh, really? And of course, when Mandy had told, it was Mandy that had the call, so when she had told me, I was like, excuse me? What do you mean that's not good enough? What do they think we're going to do? And then, of course, there was a whole thing. And I thought, how often does that happen? And I think we need to get realistic now with what is possible and what's not possible. Because there are certain things that, people try to demand. If you go into a restaurant and you're like, well, yeah, I'll have the escargot, and the waitress like, I'm sorry, there's none left. That was we're out. Well, that's not good enough. Get over yourself. If they don't have them, they don't have them. If that was the special today, there was only so many of them. Going into A&E, how many times? Oh, well, I'm afraid there's well, that's not good enough. Unless you're like at death's door at A&E, you'll be waiting until the emergency ones are taken. And you can say it's not good enough as much as you want. You need to be realistic about this. And the more people are just getting on at other people, and whether it's big companies who hold the purse strings, with their subcontractors going, well, that's not good enough, you need to do that. We can't knit you another person. It's not happening. There physically are not enough trades in Britain to get everyone's work done in their house in the next 2 weeks. It's not happening. And it doesn't matter how much people say, well, that's not good enough. Sorry you feel that way. It's not happening. So, yes, I think we need to get realistic about what is possible and what is not. And there was I was listening to the radio this morning between getting up and going to work. And there was a whole thing of different reports that I was hearing. And there was something about the amount of exclusions in schools has increased by 90% or something. It's a ridiculous number. And there's also the thing of, they're saying about so many young people being off work because of mental health issues. So Mandy and I were having a wee discussion, as you do. And we're like, right, so, after the war, the Second World War, and certainly here in the UK, there was a lot of building going on, there was a lot of work, people made money, and then they managed to buy houses, and then when the council houses, you were allowed to buy them, so you weren't at the mercy of a landlord anymore, so that when you retired, the roof over your head was yours, so you didn't still have to pay a landlord when you were in your 80s. Then there was the private pensions and the company pensions. Like my parents, they managed to retire when they were, I think mum was about 55, 56, dad was 60. In fact, I'm not even sure if he was 60. I think it was just before. My dad retired the day the last mortgage payment was made. That was him. He was done. He worked part-time in a place that he loved after that. And we are now struggling. The people, you've got the waspy women who expected to retire at 60, whose whole world was planned for retiring at 60. But now it's 65, 66, etc. And you look and you think, what have the youngsters got? You know, in my day, we would go and we'd get a little bed sit and we'd be independent, and then we'd maybe get a wee flat, get a wee mortgage if we were lucky. If not, you know, we'd do whatever. And you can't do that anymore. You know, there just isn't the money. If you're on working as an office junior or working in Tesco's or something, you don't have enough money to get your own place. So therefore you're beholden to rent. So all these young people who, when you read all the memes, you know, you see them all over Facebook and stuff about sorry, what am I working for? Oh, nothing. There's nothing for them to look forward to. So to have someone my age going, that's not good enough, or to have someone who's, you know, the manager of the company that hires their cleaning for them, say, well, that's not good enough. And you're like, mate, you have no idea what my life is. And you get so many of them saying, well, you know, if you just work another couple of hours, no, I can't afford the childcare for another couple of hours. Or, I mean, certainly here in rural Scotland, there's some places, if you work later, you're not getting a bus home. You know, the buses stop at a specific time. There's all those things going, and there's just too many expectations. So I think we need to get realistic. We need to get kinder to people. And I think that, you know, that would be a good place for us to start. Is if you hear something's not happening the way you want it, actually work out what are the realities of what it is you're looking for. As I say, you know, if you go to a restaurant and they don't have that special because, you know, you went at 9 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock, there's nothing much you can do about that. Telling them it's not good enough, what difference does that make? Why do you have to be so past remarkable? You know, why do you have to be so aggressive about it? And there's so many people getting like that now. And, you know, teachers, we're running out of teachers now because with the exclusions in the school, the behaviour of children, you know, people don't want to be teachers anymore. They don't want to be nurses with the attacks that are happening in hospitals. I mean, A&E attacks have gone up so much. And as Mandy and I were talking about it, we're like, this is because this is all we're seeing in the news. There's so little positivity out in this world. So that's my wee thing. I am going to pick up positivities and I'm going to post them on Facebook. I'm going to put them on YouTube. Anything positive. Any service that I have that's nice, I'm going to put it somewhere. And I'm going to start putting out more positivity and being realistic about expectations. Because as Mandy and I said, oh, you're going to love this one. For all you people who love these wee phrases. Mandy and I, when we were sitting and that person had said, this is not good enough, and we're like, well, you can just, Mandy's like, that pure rips man knitting. Yes, it does. And we're not having it. So positivity is the way to go. So on a positive note, the fact I have chocolate digestives, I'm going to go make a cup of tea and have a chocolate biscuit. Catch you later.